Hey there and welcome to your early look at the balance of patch 11.2, which is currently in League of Legends and has been for a few days. And now we have the first statistics at UGG. And starting off with something that shouldn't be unexpected considering how strong this champion was on release, and that she even got buffed afterwards. Seraphine absolutely skyrocketing in win rate in ADC and mid lane, and while the sample size for AD carry is very low, and I'm not going to, it's not even that low, but I'm not going to discuss it despite this absolutely disgusting win rate. And just consider that this is her win rate with four other champions on her team that are not guaranteed to be overpowered. So that win rate difference is just by herself. So in reality, she is incredibly strong. This is a ridiculous win rate. It's pretty much unprecedented for the last few months, if I'm not mistaken, with the exception of tanks, actually. Yes, preseason was pretty ooga booga, so with the exception of preseason. Then we have her win rate at mid lane, with far more matches and still an absolutely ridiculous win rate. If you take barrier, that jumps to like 57%. The optimal runes are also at 57%. And if you manage to build your two core items and boots, you have a roughly 59% chance of winning the game. This is insanely overpowered, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen. There are some counters displayed here. These are very low sample sizes. I'm not going to discuss them again. If we switch to all ranks, we can see that now there are a lot more matches, over 30,000, and she still has a 54% win rate in the mid lane, countered only by Swain, and everything else she has a positive win rate against. Uh, that's enough about Seraphine. Speaking of Swain, he is the second super overpowered champion for this patch, and he's rocking a 56% win rate as an AD carry and a 55% win rate as a mid laner. Apparently, people are now taking Conqueror on him. And that's, I guess, some sort of a new strat. I haven't played with or against that, but apparently Swain is currently very powerful, and he is also quite common. Actually, that's a very low pick rate for considering how often I see him in my games. But apparently Seraphine doesn't have the most insane pick rate for these roles either. Anyways, then we have Renekton. I don't know if they buffed this guy or what, but apparently he's also in a very good state. Gore Drinker nerfs are coming, however, so these are going to affect him. They're going to indirectly nerf him. Ivern apparently still at a high win rate, despite the buff of the shield going through this time. And here we have the usual suspects such as Karner, Anivia, Udyr, Olaf, although Olaf was also changed, you can still that he's still top 10. Garen mid, that's a low pick rate, can't really discuss too much. These are just strong champions, nothing super ridiculously overpowered here. Now let's jump to the bottom of the list and see what's incredibly weak. We're going to start off at around here. So Akali apparently got completely gutted for both mid lane and top lane. Irelia a low win rate as well. And Mundo top still struggling. I thought honestly that he would be pretty strong after these buffs, but apparently Grievous Wounds are just too powerful, and more buffs to Grievous Wounds are coming in the form of indirect changes. Of course, you can check one of my previous videos on the PB patch of the 22nd of January. This is where I discussed the buffs to Chemtech Putrefier. Basically, if you don't have time to watch that right now, this item is getting overbuffed. Expect to see Grievous Wounds even more in your games. And yeah, here we have the usual low win rate champions. Rise is actually sitting a surprisingly high win rate here I was expecting to see him much lower. Same goes for Azir, and this is something we're discussing because Azir hasn't reached such a decent win rate for a while. So these recent buffs apparently helped him, and these new items also help him. And he does apply grievous wounds decently. So apparently people are building Morello on him. And at this point, considering how difficult he is to play, despite this win rate, I think he's a viable pick. If you learn to play him well, you can climb with him at this state of the meta, I believe, which isn't something that can be quite said when he's at 44% win rate or something like that. And who do we meet here? A Momo. Momo has had like a 10% win rate drop for the last few months. Interesting. And these are the first highlights of how the balancing in the new patch has been affected. There are also probably plenty of ranks switched in between here among the other champions, but these are just your typical champions, nothing too overpowered. As you can see, Malphite has finally been tuned to a decent win rate, and he might maybe even not get directly nerfed. And yeah, this is pretty much our first look at this new patch 11.2. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in more of this type of content, I would kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day. Bye.